All right, welcome. We are live to this month's MSP Success webinar series. We've got a packed audience today. Great topic that we have on for today's webinar. And I'll introduce Sarah here in just a moment. And she has got a ton to share with you guys. Great expert on this. And so I want to thank Dell as the sponsor of today's webinar here, bringing us this great content around how to scale your marketing using new strategies, get you closer to qualified prospects, showcase your expertise, build credibility, and whatever else all the marketing people put on the website to get everyone to register. Very cool stuff on this is that we are giving away $2,500 at the end of this webinar. So 5 of you are going to get a $500 Visa gift card. If you're outside the US, we figure out exactly what works there to be able to make sure that you can spend it and you can do the translation on that. As we're getting everyone piling in here, post up in the chat of where you're coming from. I see Douglas Hobson. I know Doug was just in Newark last week with us. I'm seeing Chicago, Las Vegas. We're in Las Vegas next week. Wow, all over the place here. Lincoln, Nebraska. I see some Canada in here. Ohio. That was how it was spelled on there. With it, it's just rolling through, Sarah. So you got people from all over the place here that are on today's webinar. So this is fantastic with it here. So a couple housekeeping items before we get started. One of them is that if you have questions, we are fully welcome for any questions that you have on this here today. We're going to answer as many as we can throughout. Post them up in the questions or the Q&A. So that just helps us with a lot of people on this call. You see that it's in the chat that it's really rolling along. We got a ton of people that are on here. Post it in the Q&A. That'll make sure we can just organize and make sure that we get to your questions. If you just have a comment, such as what you are right now with saying of where you're at there, then post that in the chat. And Rebecca Hill, I see Big Orange Country. I'm actually going to the UT game on Saturday here. So I'm driving out that way to go check out the Tennessee against UT San Antonio. That doesn't sound like a very evenly matched game there, but yeah, it'll be fun nonetheless, I'm sure. But with that, I want to introduce our host for today's call, or our speaker for today's call, Sarah Locke. Sarah is a expert on social media at Dell. She actually speaks and trains a lot of the teams all across Dell. She is also the podcast lead. She's been at Dell for, I think, about 12 years with like one little blip of going somewhere else. Then she came right back to Dell because she loves it there. And she spends all day long of just educating around these type of topics. She's got a ton to share with you today. So make sure that you get your pen and paper or your Word document or whatever it is handy. And Sarah, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Awesome. Open up Notepad, folks. When people ask me how dedicated I am to social media, I said I have a tattoo and I'm not scared to show it. Hashtag on my wrist right there. So I am dedicated to social media, love digital marketing and everything about it. So today when they asked me if I wanted to come talk about personal brand with you, yes, I do. I think it is critical for personal branding here in today's market with the post-pandemic. I think it rolled out way too fast. Everybody got really scared. How do I get there? I can't go to events anymore. And then they got there and they were like, well, I don't want to go back to events, or I would prefer to do some at home and some here. And this is where it really becomes important. I'm going to try to share my screen with you so we can see my deck. Let me know if you can see it. Great. So what I'm going to be sharing with you is personal branding, and I call it a guide for people in tech that want to be social, because I do know it's a different talk. Social media isn't everybody's bag, right? It's not everybody's exciting thing to do. And I'm there with you. It can be scary. It can be, something that intimidates you. And okay, you're talking personal branding. So me as a person, am I branding myself or am I branding what I'm selling in my company? Both. So I'm going to talk to you about how to brand yourself and why that's really important, then how you can tie in your brand, personal and business together to make a full story. And what we're trying to be is authentic, true, open, show people that we are human. And we're not just like, I actually manage the Dell Tech Partner account on LinkedIn. It's me behind the scenes. And I try to be as transparent as possible as I'm listening. I'm engaging with you. It's me. I'm a person. And if I don't have the right answers for you and you've engaged and asked a question, I'm the one reaching out to everybody inside Dell saying, hey, who can help me answer this question? How do we get back to this customer or this partner? So that is also part of my extended expertise is how do we make it all happen? How do we be that one person behind the scenes? And is it possible? How do we make it timely for you? How do we not tie up all day long, 3 awesome monitors like I have with listening dashboards all over the place? How do we manage it as a person? So I'm also going to be sharing that. And as Jeff mentioned, if you listen to me and Alicia for the entire time, we're going to give you a lot of money. There's a chance to win. Well, I've also posted on LinkedIn, on social media, a post. Sarah J. Locke, look me up and engage with that post. Your chances get even better. So you can listen, but you can also engage with our posts on LinkedIn. I ask that you stop me, that you ask questions, that we engage, that you say, hey, can you dive over into LinkedIn and show me this? Can you show me an example? Absolutely. And I'm here to do that. So I want it to be as open and conversational as possible. As I trigger some questions, don't just write them down, put them in the Q&A, put them in the comments, let us know, or take yourself off mute and please ask, because it's all about engaging. I'm going to tell you, social media is all about engaging. All right, let's go next slide. How do I do this without sharing? Okay, today I want to talk to you about navigating your personal brand, what that actually means, the fundamentals behind it all, really bring it right back down to it's not scary, and let's build our personal brand. And how do you do that? Then breaking it all down, making it really simple for you and giving you some steps to walk away with and some actions that you can take today, that it doesn't seem like such a hard lift. And it's really doing the crawl, walk, run approach. We talk about that at Dell all the time. I want you to start crawling. I want you to start walking, and then I want you to be excited to run. All right, diving in, it's the start that stops most people, right? Where do I start? How do I even get moving with social media? How do I get things, created? I don't even know where to start. So it is the start that stops most people. And what is stopping you? That's what we're going to talk today, right? We don't want things to stop. We don't want you to be scared. We don't want you to be like, well, I never am on LinkedIn. I am pushing LinkedIn over X and other platforms because LinkedIn has promoted themselves that since the pandemic, they've actually become more of that network building, but not just finding jobs. It is actually a place where you're promoting yourself, what you're good at, what your hobbies are, getting people to actually network and know who you are. And I say that because we aren't just somebody that sells a solution, sells technology, we it's the doing, right? What that's what we do. But who are we? What do we want to be, right? And I always say that I am very transparent. I say that I am an MS advocate because I've been living with MS, multiple sclerosis, for 4 years. You're going to see in my posts that I live with MS and what that actually means. I'm an outdoors enthusiast, and I hike and I kayak and I love being outside in nature. You'll see me posting about that. I am a proud parent of a very tall 14-year-old girl who struggles with her height and everybody else, what sport she's going to be playing. You're going to see that, and that I'm a proud mom. But you're also going to see that I work for Dell and I promote digital marketing, social media, and podcasts. And I do something called the digital feed. And what is that? And Dell promotes how to be digital on social media and how to use those tools. So those are like pillars, and I'll talk about a little bit later about what those pillars actually are and how you define your pillars. So I'm going to walk away with some homework here too. I also want to say you're going to want to update your profile on LinkedIn. I don't want a picture of you from 1985 as your profile picture. In any way, I don't want that. I want the latest and greatest. I don't care if it's a professional headshot. I believe mine is me at a latest MS event that I hosted on a speaker. And I actually make that my profile picture through all of my socials. So if you find me on Facebook, if you find me on Instagram, if you find me on X, it's the same picture because I don't want you to be confused on if it's actually me that you found. It is. And when I update one, I update them all, so you're clear on that. And I want you to stay consistent if you're on more than one platform as well, because you want people to know who you are. and know that they found the right person when they found you. So navigating your personal brand is really, it starts with you. Who are you? And when I say go on LinkedIn and update your profile picture, I don't just mean your profile picture. I mean your title. It doesn't have to be an official title. It's something fun, witty, or an official title. Mine says something about social media and podcasts, and I work for Dell. But it also has that my topics I cover are hashtag LGBTQ, hashtag living with MS, hashtag women in tech. So I have a lot of things that I talk about, and I put the hashtags because I actually use those in my posts, and I want people to follow me using those and be able to find me using those hashtags as well, jumping into those overall discussions if they want to. The purpose is to who others, who you are, what you stand for, and ultimately you're inspiring. Are we working moms? Are we working dads? And that's actually a really big thing that's better than working moms right now is dads that actually work, but are dads at home. And what do you do? Are you the T-ball coach? Are you doing things with your kids outside? I had one gentleman that he kept posting pictures of his kids in costumes. And he's like, they don't wear real clothes. They wear costumes. And it was a great way to connect with him. He was a sales guy here at Dell. He's just fantastic to connect with him as a dad and know that these stories actually, they're things that you used to do at like a steak and storage event where you're actually sharing with somebody about your kids or about your family and being like, oh my gosh, my kids, blah, blah, blah. This is where we're sharing that now. We're trying to make those connections virtually. So don't be scared to introduce your family and introduce what you do as hobbies. And are you out there sailing around the world on the weekends? Where did you vacation? Bring us into that and make us know who you are, because then when we see a post that you're selling something or you're an expert in something, it's like, oh my gosh, I know that guy, right? And they want to connect with us. So realize that you're doing this for you and no one else. Don't be scared to be you, and don't let anybody, come in. You're going to get the trolls sometimes. You're going to get the people that want to argue with you. We have the power to delete those. We have the power to block those folks. So don't let those scare you, and they aren't going to come at you in the beginning, especially when you're sharing about your family or, what you're good at, what you're excited about, your hobbies, those sorts of things. You're actually going to get more people liking those posts than you do your business posts in the beginning because they are trying to get to know you. I actually had a colleague that just said, I have people loving my dog posts more than any other posts that I put out there. And I said, because you introduced her as a new family member. Like he's part of you. So we really want to get those feelings going. It's all about building relationships. And how do we build relationships? But with our feelings, with our emotions. So we're building our own personal brand. We're not building it for anybody else. And you know you best. What do you want to talk about? So I always say, be you always, whoever that person is. Authentic, transparent, know who you are. And that's actually the hard part. A lot of people, when I tell them to jot down how people would describe you or, what you think of yourself, it's a task. Like you actually have to pause and think. So I am going to task you to do that. Write down, who you are. What are the things that you are? Not like what you do, but who you are. I'm a mom. I'm an MS advocate, survivor, whatever. I got it for life. I'm LGBTQ and I'm proud. I'm an ERG member here at Dell for sustainability and talent and some other things. I do a lot of things for Dell, which includes social, podcasting, whatever. But who am I as a person? And I'm a lot of things outside of this. I'm a mom, a volleyball mom now. And so know those things, write them down and just get comfortable with those things. Then what do you want to represent? Who do you want to be when you grow up sort of conversations? I have a friend that I follow and I said, I want to be you when I grow up. And it's just a terminology of how you think of yourself and then how do you emulate that? How do you make that come to life? And we're doing that on social media. So follow people like you. Follow people that inspire you on LinkedIn. I follow a lot of people that do social media, but I follow a lot of people that do social media because I found them because they're a working mom, or I used a hashtag about MS, and I've run into that we have like interests. So follow those people. And I want to say, start with following. You don't have to post right away. follow, build that network. If you follow them, they follow you back. If you connect with somebody, make sure you're writing a blip about why you want to connect with them, what's important to you. Don't just press connect and hope that they go through their thing and just say yes, 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 because it is a LinkedIn thing. And if they don't know you, they think you want to sell them something. Eventually, maybe, but not today, right? We want to educate them on who we are and what we do. Any questions? I do want to pause.
Hey, just two quick questions that have come up. One is, Sarah, what is your podcast? Someone
Yeah, so
on there,
it's
Andrew, would like to subscribe.
Yeah, it's called The Partner Connection, and it's actually hosted by Cheryl Cook. So we talk a lot about thought leadership across the industry, and then we relate it to our channel partners.
Awesome. And then Wes was asking, should we have a personal LinkedIn page as well as a business LinkedIn page?
Absolutely. And you want to start with the personal one and then share what you're doing on your company business one from your personal one as well. So you're going to have two running in tandem. One's going to be who you are, the other one's going to be who your business is and what you do. And when they share something on business one, you're going to take your personal account and be like, did you know I work there? Like you'll see me say hashtag I work for Dell all the time because I'm promoting Dell and I want you to know that I work there. And this is what their solutions are. So you really want to be driving people back to your business page, but you want them to know that you work there and I'm a person and I do this, this, and this, and this in my life and time.
Awesome.
That's a great question. All right. Did you know 82% of customers trust a company when their senior management members are active on social media? And this is big for anybody. I don't care if you're not a senior management, one man show, right? If you are active yourself personally on social media, customers are going to trust you more with your company and with the things that you're selling and the things that you're saying. When we have, executives talking about their dad, their pups, spending time with their dad, their pup going for a drive on a conference call, jumping over the seat and eating their pup cup while they're on the conference call, making a ruckus. Those are the biggest social engagements we get. And then they share something about Dell and thought leadership and what we're doing in cybersecurity. But the biggest thing they got was all those followers excited to know that they're a human, and the dog interrupted them on a conference call too, or their dad is at 82 years old, and they're connecting with them, they're spending time with them, and that gets the feels going. And then when they want to look to us for our expertise in selling Dell, having Dell solutions, that's where we get the trust factor. It's all about building trust. We want our customers to trust us. How do they trust us? We come across as human beings. All right, I'm breaking into the fundamentals here. Finding your brands and questions to ask yourself. I sort of dabbled in this and entered it a little earlier, but it's most authentic you is what's going to be, don't be fake. I definitely lean on ChatGPT to start my posts now. You'll see some of my posts that are lengthier. They involve a lot of emojis, and I've had to cut them back because ChatGPT, they definitely goes off. But I'll just put an idea into ChatGPT and be like, help me, right? I need an idea starter. And the other day I did one on laundry. No lie, I posted about laundry. All transparency, my laundry machine is right here. The dryer's open to remind me to turn it on after this podcast. But how important is doing laundry, and what are the emotional feels we go through with laundry and having to do laundry? When you open your drawer and there's nothing to wear and you're working from home and it doesn't really matter, but you literally have just pajamas to wear. The emotions we run through with laundry. So I put in ChatGPT the emotions that we run through when it's laundry day. And it spit out this amazing piece that was just like way too much. And I wanted to, of course, put it in my voice, tailor it to my feelings and my emotions. But that's a thought starter, right? It was something that gave me something to work with, where I'm not sitting there with a blank LinkedIn post in front of me, but I'm there with some ideas and some cool emojis that I will delete and some cool emojis that I will keep, because my goodness, we don't all have to have that many emojis. And then I wanted to put the right hashtags in that related to me and positive vibes and good vibes about laundry day. So you'll actually see, if you're out there on LinkedIn right now, I'm asking you to multitask today. I want you to listen to my words. I want you to go out on LinkedIn, find me, follow me, engage with that one post I had that I posted this morning about being excited about being on this call. Chances to win money. But ChatGPT can help us with that, but it does not help us be authentic. It does not help us tell our story. So that is just something to help us get a little easier in producing content. And then we can delete and edit as we need it to fit it to us. And it doesn't matter if you take a 500-word post and cut it to 20 words and add a picture. That's you being you, and you took an idea and you rolled with it. So that's just one tip of mine. Know your value. What are people following you for? Or what do you want people to follow you for? I want people to follow me to know that I have MS and I'm educating, learning, and inspiring that no illness, even an invisible illness like MS, can slow us down. Be kind. You never know what somebody else is going through. So I want that to be sort of a value that I pick. I also want you to follow me because of social media and you want to learn more about social media. And I want you to know just a little bit that that's what I do for my job. And I get a lot of private messages like, hey, can you do this for me? Hey, can you deliver this to my team? Can I listen to this speech, right? This talk, this webinar? Do you do this internally and externally? So people sort of get a knowledge base of what I'm good at and what my value is. What am I bringing to the conversation? And that's the same as when you like somebody's comment, post, don't just like it, comment on it. Add why you liked it, add why you loved it, or why you found it funny. Yesterday, I did a post where I said, my workmate is cuter than yours. Prove me wrong. And I posted a picture of my dog out of my lap. That's me being authentic and just opening the world up. I got so much engagement from that and people sharing the pictures of their workmates. I had somebody share a picture of a bunny. I had cats, dogs, I think people, like this is my workmate actually in the office. So it just makes it fun, light, airy, and you might think it's wasting time, but how are we making connections? We make them through posts like that. And then when I go out there with a post that I'm prepping for this presentation today, I get a lot more private messages saying, oh my goodness, I didn't know you did that. Oh my goodness, because they just engaged with me yesterday and had no idea. They just thought I was a fun person on LinkedIn. I'm more than a fun person on LinkedIn. What am I? And then invest in yourself. And I don't mean monetarily, I mean the time to make and take the pictures, right? I always say, remember the memories, make the moments, take the picture and share that. If you take a picture and then you're looking for social ideas on LinkedIn, scroll through your phone on your camera and what did I do last weekend? Let it trigger your thoughts and use those pictures. Words don't sell you or your product as much as photos, infographics, videos, right? So if you took a cute clip of your kid, I always, when we talk sustainability here at Dell, I'm like, did anybody post a picture of their kid throwing something away recently? That is an epic post into us recycling and what we can do for our partners and our customers and whatever. Be you, post a picture of your kids. So what the 3 questions I want you to ask yourself, I want you to jot it down. I said open notepad, jot it on a piece of paper, have it in front of you. But what top 3 words would people use to describe you? Are you funny? Are you kind? Are you techie? Figure this out will help you find your voice. What are you going to talk about? What would people describe you as? And then use those to be that person, because that's how others describe you. It is who you are. Others see you as that. And if they see you as words that you don't want, adjust that and build your own brand. Number 2, what do you want to share about? This is a deep one because a lot of people are like, I don't want to give my kids a digital footprint before they want to make the choice to have their own digital footprint. So I'm not sharing about my kids. Absolutely, totally agree in that aspect. I share about my kid all the time. She's on social media. Your dog, your pet, your hobbies. Other things that are happening, nature photos, right? You can do anything. Are you a bird watcher? What are your hobbies? What do you like to do? I kayak a lot and I show a picture of the front of my boat and the views, and you can't get this serenity anywhere else. Get outside. That's my post. But what do you enjoy? Not what you think your audience will enjoy or think you should enjoy, but what do you enjoy? We're building a network here. We're building our tribe. I mean, think of who we want to follow us and engage with us. Just today, I had a question about a podcast. I said, oh my goodness, I don't know the answer to this. Who can I lean on? I dug into my network on LinkedIn, posed a question in a direct message to this gentleman. He got right back to me, and I have 4 meetings next week with the top experts in this area. Like, that's building our network. And it's because we share pictures about our kids, but I knew he worked for X company and I could lean on him. That's building relationships and networking and having a tribe of people that can help lift and support you. And he felt like we knew each other personally for him to be able to just answer and be like, oh my gosh, this is my wheelhouse. I got some people for you. Fantastic. And it wasn't that I had to go dig and I had to research and do some things. I knew a guy that I thought could help. So just always keep that in our mind when we're sharing in social media. This is to build up our network. Find 3 to 5 things that you want to share about and jot those down. Just 5 things that I'm willing to share about. And then number 3, what do you want to be known for? This is a really good one, right? I always talk about after Dell, when I retire, and I'm thinking of an early age, 55 maybe. I'll just retire, just back up. What do you have to back up with? What are you going to do? You can only do so many house chores, house cleaning, gardening, right? What are you actually going to do? And I have all of my hobbies that I want to do, including MS. Man, what if I were to be an MS advocate speaking at schools and whatever? It's just like, this is fun stuff. This is volunteer work. This is awesome. But what do you want to be seen as a subject matter expert in? What do you want people to reach out to you about? I reached out to this guy because I knew I got a podcast question. I saw him once. He did something on podcasts. What do you want people to private message you about when the time comes to ask you for help, to lean on you? And who do you want to lean on in that aspect, right? Build your network, follow the right people. Understand this will help you narrow your focus even further of what you should be sharing. So you're not all out there trying to figure out what I'm going to put into ChatGPT today to trigger my ideas. You have your 5 topics that you're willing to share about, and you know what you want to be the expert on. So put that into ChatGPT and start there. Any questions?
Hey, Sarah, how on this, when we're posting on LinkedIn and we're doing this and it's this business B2B type of network here, it's not Facebook, it's not Instagram. How does the fun part of that translate to meetings, to like leading direct to business?
That's a great question. So when you're needing to have a meeting, it's a softer approach when you approach somebody that you're already connected with, that you saw engage. They don't have to have commented. Did they like any of your posts? And then you have a soft approach of like, I saw that you liked, or you can use it as a talking point, especially when sales, right? They call it cold calling. Somebody will follow me or connect with me on LinkedIn and I will press that button. Like, I don't know why, but I feel it's okay. We're in the same industry. And 2 seconds later, I get the, hey, hi, do you want to meet? I don't know you yet. Start following me for a minute. Start engaging with me, right? Get to know who I am. And in a few months, so this isn't a one and done. This isn't a turn on the switch and just make tons of sales. This is a long-term investment in yourself, your company, and what you're doing to make it all work. And it has to be consistent too. This isn't something that you're going to post today and close the deal tomorrow. It's not you're going to post today and somebody's going to fall in love with you. They're going to reach out to you in a few weeks and then it's not happening overnight. This is something that it's nurturing, right? We're nurturing relationships. You don't have a best friend that you met yesterday. Sometimes you do meet somebody that triggers you like that. And you're like, oh my gosh, are we best friends? But no, it doesn't happen like that. You don't meet somebody on the street or, in a restaurant and then be like, oh my goodness, we're best friends tomorrow. It's you're going to call them, you're going to engage with them, you're going to invite them out, you're going to do sporting events with them, you're going to spend time with them and your kids. And then, right? So it's not something that it's going to immediately come to having a meeting. It's not going to come to something, but in the future it could. And if you've noticed these people, I don't engage with the person I reach out to the other day about podcasting every day. I engage with, sometimes his wife does stuff and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're married. Like, you're making connections, you're making and building things, and they're seeing that you're doing it as well. And then you can ask for a meeting, or I asked for 4 people and got 4 meetings. But it's not something that social media is leading to ROI at any time. It's social media is a marketing effort. It's something where you're marketing yourself, right? And then it turns into social selling. And that's a whole different part of what we're doing. And that's where your business page comes into play, where you as a person are you as a person, and you as your page is always promoting your, like posing a problem and you have a solution, right? And it's maybe a Dell solution. So you always want to be posing those problems and answering that you have those solutions. And then you can come over the top of that with your personal account, being like, anybody, comment on that post and say, and I'm the best salesperson around to hook you up and talk to you about these solutions. Let's work together and make this happen. That's where your two accounts play with each other. Is your company account is going to be one that you're always going to keep it on, posting about your solutions, problems that people might run into, and what, products you have that align to that, or activities that you're doing. But you also on your company page want to talk about sustainability, solutions for sustainability, the big topics, right? Security. Month of October is cybersecurity month. Talk about those things. And then on your personal page, be talking about, how you can answer those questions, come over the top of those. So it doesn't always have to align one-to-one, but what you want to do is when you connect to this page, that people can click on your name and see who you are over here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Caleb was asking, in it's okay if you defer this, if we're going to cover this a bit. He said one of the hardest things that he's had on LinkedIn so far has been getting interactions with his posts. What's the best way to be able to drive higher interactions?
Ooh, that's a good one. One, I want to say, what are your posts about? No, are you using the right hashtags? Are you using any hashtags? Are you using too many hashtags? Are you mentioning people? Are you mentioning too many people? So on LinkedIn, there's a whole algorithm behind the scenes. If you're using more than 3 to 5 hashtags and they're all blocked on the bottom, you get thrown into spam. If you're mentioning people and they're all at the bottom and you mentioned like 60 of them, if those people don't actually engage, comment on your posts, it gets thrown into spam. So just realize, one, what are you talking about? And try to use key hashtags. And you can search hashtags that are popular or search your hashtag you want to use and make sure that it's a conversation you want to land in. But that puts it in front of more people. The more people that like your post, even, it puts it in front of their audience. So they're also seeing it, enhancing your impressions of that post. For people to actually engage, ask a question at the end. So at the end of your post, even if it's about anything like, I don't know, you're talking about, the carbon footprint and sustainability, ask, what's your favorite item to recycle? Don't care. And people will answer that. They're like, oh my gosh, I like recycling plastic the best. Paper's the easiest for me. I don't recycle. That's a good one. Oh my goodness, conversation starter. But what you're trying to do on LinkedIn is spur that engagement. So you want to mention folks that are prevalent to it and call them out and then email them and be like, hey, I just did this post. I'm not lying. Contact them and say, hey, just call this. I think you could add some really good value to this. Could you comment? I do that at Dell all the time. I have a Teams page that I'll drop my posts in that I do for Dell Tech Partner. And personally, hey, I just dropped this in and I think we're talking sustainability here. Let's do this, this, and this. I'm talking about social. Hey, here's my social friends, all my social buddies. I'm like, I mentioned you. Can you go in and comment? Yeah, I can. That helps it. I think Cheryl Cook here at Dell calls it drinking our own Kool-Aid. Champagne, not Kool-Aid. We drink our own champagne. So we need to push our own stuff out there first. Be first in line to the buffet. You just put it out there, comment on your own stuff. Today I commented on my own with a new picture of my dog saying new day, no focus. Because he's my workmate and he really sucks at focusing. But you need to engage with your own posts. Go ahead and engage your own posts. If you need to come back the next day and comment on it, come back the next day and add more value to it by commenting on it. But make sure you're using 3 to 5 hashtags. And I would say put it in the sentence. So if you're mentioning cybersecurity, it's hashtag cybersecurity is great for your company because, or right. So hashtag security threats are, at risk for. So build it as part of don't put them all at the bottom as just like, this is, what we're doing, unless they don't fit into the sentence. Don't force them into a sentence. You'll see hashtag I work for Dell. I don't start things with hashtag I work for Dell. So it's a really cool thing to listen to me. I hashtag I work for Dell at the bottom, and things like that. And then mentions, right? Only 3 to 5 mentions, and it can be one mention of one great person. And you can comment mentioning people. So you don't have to buddy up and mud up your post with mentions. You can actually comment and be like, what do you think at Michael Dell? Don't mention him. He won't answer. So that's a really great question.
No, that is great. And even just sharing a quick example of it for me is that Vern Harnish, the author of Scaling Up, had posted a story of one of our members, an MSP. He personally emailed me and said, hey, I think this guy works with you. I just posted up a story in LinkedIn. It's out there. I felt in a good way, an obligation. I went out there, I shared that post. out to everyone that I know on LinkedIn. So it benefited him. It was no skin off my back to be able to go do that. And just that act of someone asking as it, hey, do you mind if doing a personal favor? That you're almost going to get that 90+% as long as you actually know who it is and it's not just some random person.
Right.
Then
Absolutely.
you're going to get them to say absolutely no problem.
That's a great example.
Hey, Sarah, just one quick follow-up, and then I want to let you keep on going. You mentioned searching hashtags. Where do you search those? Like, how do you search hashtags?
Right in the search bar on LinkedIn. I'm just going to drop out right here in LinkedIn. You can search bar this and you can hashtag the partner uncut. Have I ever used that? The hashtag is what I was asking today. And I said, oh yeah, I did. So I want to use that again and keep people going into our podcast that way. Or, oh, I only mentioned it once. What other hashtag can I use? But you can do it for, let's say, hashtag, Power Store is who's talking about Power Store. And just pay attention on the top when you do that. Posts, people, right? We want posts that mention Power Store. You want to make sure that we're all talking about the same thing. Do you want to fall into this conversation? Is this the Power Store you're talking about? Because you'll have another company talk about something else. It's a storage bank for phone chargers, and they call it the Power Store. You don't want to fall into that conversation if you're talking about Dell's storage solution for Power Store, right? So just do your homework and make sure that you're looking for the right hashtag. Great question.
All right, very cool.
Awesome. Moving on. Did you know 64% of people say that shared values helps them create trusted relationships with a brand? So if they're sharing values with you, like sustainability, like carbon footprint, like, being an amazing person that loves to do storage, but also if they're a nature person, if they're connecting with you over personal matters too, they're going to trust you and build that relationship too with your brand or with a brand. But if that brand, let's say your company is, and I keep talking about cybersecurity and talking about ESG things for environmental sustainability and government, social and government, it's all about where the causes meet the road, right? If you're supporting things that your customers feel value in, they also want to feel value there. If that makes sense, right? You want to come across with social impact, government issues, things like that are what is pulling at heartstrings these days and people want to connect to. So where are you? Like, I know that, Dell has a lot of partnerships that we're like, this is what we're doing, innovation index overall and how it relates to everything. And here is how it connects with cybersecurity. Here's how it connects with ESG. Here's how it connects with. So we always try to say, hey, we care about a lot of things. We have all of these goals. Make sure your company page is talking about your goals and what you want to do and what you believe in as a company. And then make sure you're promoting that out to your customer base, because 64% of people say that if they're sharing values with your brand and your company, that they're going to trust you more. And obviously, as a person, we want to have those same values. So bringing your personal, building your personal brand, right? These are some homework assignments. Just get started. Don't overthink it. I have people that I've trained and I'm like, so how's it going? 2 weeks later. Oh my gosh, I got it drafted. I've had my wife look at it a few times and it's almost ready. No, just just press go. Just see and press go every time. Just get it out there. An image always does more than anything. But like, let's say you watch TED Talks to be inspired. Share that TED Talk and be like, why did it connect with you? You for 15 minutes, you listen to this TED Talk. What I share when I'm doing a TED Talk is sharing this totally worth the 15 minutes because. And then let the TED Talk do the rest. That's somebody they're going to engage, like, and at the end, you can ask for engagement and say, what did you connect to in the TED Talk? So just start simple. And then if you have a personal post that you want to, I have people that, run it by me. Is this good? Did I use the right hashtags? Can I mention that? Did I do that right? Find a friend, give them an assignment, right? Just run it off of them, but don't wait all day. Don't be like, I have to wordsmith it. If you have a misspelled word in social media, it is accepted. It is frowned upon from corporate brands, but you personally, it's fine. And on LinkedIn, you can edit it. We're not locked into it. So on LinkedIn, you can edit your post. You can add value, you can update. You can in 2 weeks go back to that post and be like, update, and give people an update on what's happened or what's changed or anything like that. So please don't feel limited by being scared. Don't overthink yourself. Just write something, attach a picture, and press post and see how it goes. Email it to me and say, hey, engage with this. Right? And I will. I'll be obligated. And then engage with others first if you feel safer there, right? So if you're starting to follow people, starting to connect, searching hashtags, and you run into somebody that's really cool and you just happen to, and I'm going to say spend 15 minutes a day doing this. I don't want you to spend days on days. I don't want an hour a day even. I want the first 15 minutes before you open your email. I want you to go on LinkedIn and start following people. Okay. Single engagement method is follow one person, leave 3 comments on various posts, and like 5 of their posts. That's going to get people looking at you. And if you do that every day, different people, you're going to get people that want to connect with you. Don't accept them all. You can always decline them later. Accept them all. You want these people. These people could be your next best friend, your next sale, your next, hold on, your next lean on me to support you with something you're working on, any of those. And everyone is a salesperson. We all know this. I'm a marketer. I sell, right? I sell myself every day. Every single post you make should do one of 3 things: educate, entertain, or inspire. I do a lot of inspire. I do a ton of entertaining, and I try to educate as much as I possibly can, even if it's, the simplest stuff from what MS is and what to look for in somebody, like how to support a friend with MS, to, hey, this is how I do digital at Dell. Thought I'd share. This is some social media tips and tricks that I've been sharing internal Dell. Thought I'd share them with my audience. You'll see me actually post articles with those things. So, follow me and get more of that. Share what your company is doing as well as what you are doing. We brought this up before. Self-promoting is hard, but it's important to put yourself out there. But then you're sharing about your company. Share about your company news. Come over the top of what your company has posted and share that it's your own news, right? Personal development, share about it. Attending a seminar or a webinar, share about it. This one right here, share my post on LinkedIn and say, I just attended this and this lady was crazy, or, oh, I learned some new things, or wow, just share your thoughts on it, because it helps others register for the next one, or it helps people connect to you and what you learned from. I do a lot of, when I'm out at events, I want to be taking pictures and having people live that experience, that event through me, because man, what if you didn't go? You have FOMO so bad. Your fear of missing out, and you want to be at that event. What did I eat? No, you don't want to know what I ate. But what seminars did I go from? What value did I take out from? What were the key points that you took away from that? Can you share the slide deck with me? Sort of things. So that's what we want to do, especially when we're out there in events right now where we don't have the biggest audience or not as many people are attending now. How do we share that experience with them? Do that through your company page. We're here doing this today. We have a booth set up at, right? That's what you want. Or we're hiring. Those are good ones too. And then you can come over the top with your personal account saying, my company's hiring and I'm pretty cool to work with, right? And sort of have that sort of influence on them as well. Share things that show you are a human being. I can't say that enough. Another, did you know? Sales reps who use social media as part of their sales technique outsell 78% of their peers. This is a big number, and I looked it up a few times because I was like, really? And it's salespeople are never trusted on social media. If you come out as authentic and selling yourself as a person, as a human, as somebody that does stuff other than sell your product, people trust you, are building that relationship. And then when you do try to do the sale, it's there. And the conversation starters that you have with people that are engaging with you are more so than if you're cold calling, is what I call it, when you just sort of cold ping somebody or email somebody. And it's sort of stalker-esque, but do it. Learn about the person you're about to contact. Engage with them for a few weeks before. Read their stuff. Know about them. Be able to ask prevalent questions about their life while you're asking for that meeting, right? Great to get to know you on social. Not sure if you've noticed me, but I've noticed you. And I was thinking we could talk about, right? Especially if you're following the right hashtags, you're going to notice people are posting about their tech problems. They're posting about things that they might be running into issues with. This is where you just like. Then you add maybe a little value in there of a solution that you might have. And then you can come over the top of that saying, okay, maybe I have something that can actually, and that's a private message. That's not commenting. That's you've tried that, you've done that. Now you're going to come in with a private message saying, hey, I noticed on a recent post, and I commented a few times, but I think I might have a solution that's really going to help alleviate boom, boom, boom. Do you have time to meet? That's something that you've just had a trigger point that they've had out there for a bit and not found the right answers. They're not thanking anybody in that feed for their help. They're going to be thanking you pretty much soon. So that's social selling. So breaking it all down, figure out your top 3 to 5 focus topics. Just start. Press post. Put something in there and press post. Get it out there. And then engage, engage, engage. I can't say it enough. Go out there and engage with other people's posts. And then when they engage with yours, if you've followed me in this recent 30 minutes we've had, you see that everybody who comments on mine, within 24 to 48 hours, I actually like it and or come back with a thanks so much. Oh my God, he's so cute. Thanks for sharing. Wow, what insight. You want to actually show them that you're listening. You're not just pushing it out there and letting it die. You're actually a person to engage back with. That makes people think that they're not only going to trust you, but they're going to lean on you when they do have a question about business. When they do have a question about something important, you're going to be the one that responds. And then be consistent. It's not one and done. It is not, I posted a post on Monday 2 weeks ago. Totally done now. That is not what it is. It's you're posting several times a week. I would say start with 3, Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Monday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Wednesday. Doesn't matter. And on LinkedIn, it is long form conversational. So it's not like on X where you post it and it lives for 7 seconds. It literally just lives for 7 seconds and it's gone unless somebody is engaged with it. LinkedIn, people go back through, they scroll down through. 2-month post is actually going to pop up at the beginning of your feed because somebody ran into it and commented or liked it, and all of a sudden it's back at the top. That's where you come in with another comment. But put it on your calendar. I always say it's the easiest thing to do. Make yourself a meeting for 15 minutes every morning to do something on social media. And then at the end of your day, I usually do it sitting on the couch, vegging in front of the Food Network before dinner. And I go through all of my feeds and look at my notifications and just scroll through my notifications for business. And I scroll through my notifications for myself and engage with them. And it, as much as I can possibly do in a day. They don't all come flooding in. Don't think you're going to post and you're going to have 5,000 things that you have to answer. It's a trickle. And those are the ones you want to engage with. Those are the ones you want to talk back to. All right, wrapping up. People buy from people they know, like, and trust. So we're marketing ourselves to sell what we sell, product. So people are going to buy from people they know. Do they even know you? You cannot open up LinkedIn and one day like somebody and follow them and then not introduce yourself, not even get to know them. You didn't even date, and now you're asking them to marry you. They need to get to know you. They need to like you and then build that trust, and then they're going to buy from you. And it is a known fact. That is something that is just, it happens. People get shocked, and it'll happen not now, 6 months, 9 months, a year down the road, and it could be a big sale. So you don't want to let that one get away, especially if you're following those right hashtags, you're engaging in the right conversations, you're going to run into the right people. And different types of posts. There's a personal post, an engagement post, and a work post. Personal posts, right? Choose the topic that interests you. It can be anything from new technology, trends, travel, and news. Hint, use that ChatGPT to help you trigger some conversation and some posts. Engagement posts are those that you're asking a question. You're sort of asking for that engagement. The personal post, you don't need the engagement. You just want people to get to know you. The engagement post is, hey, I looked at this TED Talk. These are the value points I had. What did you learn from it? Those sort of posts are all engagement posts. And I actually referenced TED Talks. I like myself. Work posts. This has a range it ranges from product news, reviews, podcasts, what your services and help solve. You want to drive to your website or an article that you wrote or a blog by the product that you're selling, right? Dell Technologies in this example. So you want your work post to always be Also consistent. So when you're posting for yourself personally, make sure you're also posting for your company, especially if you're the same person doing it. I know it seems like double talk, it seems like so much work. It isn't, because you're actually going to use one to lift the other. But we need to be talking about, and your customers want to hear about, the product news, product reviews, any interesting podcasts that you listen to. They don't have to be your podcast alone. It could be industry podcasts that talk about storage, talk about server, talk about security. Share those out there. Be a resource. Like this, we just recently heard this podcast and think it'd be of interest to you. And then what your services obviously are and what problems you help solve. I did want to just include this slide because after they said they were going to post it for you guys to see, but do's, don'ts, and sometimes on social. So do's, right? You're going to share other successes or how they helped you. You want to give kudos. You want to say, Alicia, I believe, reshared my post and said, thanks so much, Sarah, for coming on our call with us. It's going to be such a great call. She thanked me. Oh my gosh. I'll engage in that, but you want to call those kudos out. You want people to be mentioned. Share positive news and lessons learned, what you've done in life, what you've done with business. Positive news is, super excited to be closing a deal. You don't have to mention who it is, but it's because we were able to solve X, Y, Z. Write out how you solve their problems, even if you're not mentioning the customer that you helped. Why were you able to help them? What was their problem? You are your best case study, period, hands down. Tell a story. You're always telling a story. It's all streaming together on why we're telling that story and what the story actually is. So figure out what that story is and start talking about it. Engage with others. See people posting, engage with them. See people comment and you're like, that's a really clever comment, or that's something that I'm interested in. Reply to them and start something with them. Sometimes you just see people start following you because they're like, oh my gosh, I like that comment, or I like the way she said that. They'll just start, ask questions. If you see a post and people are commenting on it and you have a question about it, don't be scared. Ask the question right there. You always hear there's no stupid questions. Ask your question. Use new features on the platform if they're leveraging new features, and they're like, oh, you can now add several images. Like I was like, oh my goodness, we can share more than 4 images on LinkedIn. Is that too much? No. Never enough, especially when you're at an event. Experiment, test, and measure, right? Especially on your company page. What is getting an engagement? Is it company news? Is it kudos of your employees that have been hitting their sales goals or becoming trained in certifications with something? What is being enacted on? And is it your case studies? Is it that you did this with a customer X and you were able to do this, this, and this? Which posts are being engaged with the most, and post more like that? And then make it fun. This doesn't have to be something that's horrible and hard. And oh my goodness, I have to go do social media today. It can be just as easy as opening up your inbox and being like, I have to answer these today. Open up social media. Be like, ooh, look at all these new topics today. That's actually more fun than email. Don't be salesy or dishonest. I always say we're selling ourselves in a non-salesy way. Never try to sell ourselves. Just promote. Just pitch new ideas over the fence and see who grabs onto them. Don't overuse hashtags and call to actions. If you have a video, but then you also have a brochure, try to post the video so they can watch it live and then say, for more information, check out our brochure. But don't put your website, your brochure, that video, and 2 others, right? You don't want to have too many call to actions. One should be actionable in the post and one should be clickable. That's as many as I would suggest. Posting content you're not comfortable with. If you're not comfortable posting it, if it's something that's politically, religiously, any of those gray areas that you're like, I don't want to post, don't post it. If you get a pit in your stomach about, I don't think this is good, don't post it. Not forced to. And don't overthink things. But sometimes you do get personal. We have to on social media. Use humor. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I keep it professional. It depends on how far I want to go that day. Tag other people or include them in your posts if you let them know you're about to do that. If you think they're going to engage with that post, you don't want to just tag them and just be like, that was blind to them. They had no idea it was coming at them. And then include a picture of yourself. They're saying get away from selfies, but selfies sell. I'm telling you, people want to know what you look like today, not that 1985 profile picture on LinkedIn that you currently have. And I know they're out there. So include pictures of yourself sometimes with kids in activities, group activities, right? A selfie of a whole group event that you're in. That's pretty cool. But those things are things I get engaged with. And my last slide, I just wanted to leave because they are posting this, but where do I start? So this sort of just verbates what I said today. New headshot. I can't stress it enough. Get that out there. Update your title, make it creative, not senior executive of, not CEO of. I want you to be what you are, not what you do. So think creatively like that. Update your banners and on the top of your page. Don't let it just be that gray banner, but I updated my profile. Update that banner. It doesn't have to be your company picture, right? On your company page, you want it to be your logo and something about your services or the products that you service, make it techie. Totally, that's fine. Yours should be a personal profile picture of yourself. And then I always like it to be a scene from one of my recent hikes or something that I've actually personally done. So you see right now, I think it's sunrise in the Adirondacks that I have there, and that's me standing there looking at that sunrise. So those are the kinds that I put out there. I think our personals should express our personals. If you feel comfortable and you think that this is your resume and you have to be in a suit and a tie with a blue background, smile big and make it happen. But I'm also saying that it's okay for you to be standing next to a river with a hat on. It's totally fine for you to actually emulate who you are on social media. Update your work experience. Do you volunteer? Make sure that's filled out there. People are actually learning what you're doing. Update your company account, right? If it's just you or a small team, it's important. Never share personal content on a company account. So try to keep yourself separate. Like sometimes I'm in the Dell Tech partner account. And I'm like, oh my God, that's a great. Ooh, that's not me. Pay attention to who you're posting as, and make sure that your company is authentically you, authentically your company, and you are authentically you. And then be consistent with each of your accounts. They don't have to post at the same time. They don't have to post, but just be consistent with if weekly you're relating some company performance news or new to solutions you're offering, make sure that those stay consistent. And even if you're next week you go back and make a comment on those posts as your company, you can do that as well. When people engage with your company's posts, make sure you're representing your company when you answer them, not your personal account. On LinkedIn, you can actually switch between the accounts. I'll show you right now. When I do post, I can do this and it lets me post. Hold on. When I do this, because you can have a brand account, it'll actually tell you who you actually want to represent when you're in here. I'm going to do this if it's the last thing I show you. This. I'm going to reply as Sarah Locke, I'm going to reply as Dell Tech OEM Solutions, or I'm going to reply as Dell Tech Partner. So make sure you're just paying attention to what little globe is up here when you're replying to your comments. All right, and I think I am done. I'm going to turn this over. I know, any questions, you can hold till the end. We're going to leave some time, but I want to let you go for Alicia, and she's going to talk to you a little bit about Dell Expert Network.
Okay, perfect. And Jeff, remind me, do we have a hard stop at 2 or are we okay to go over a few minutes?
No, we can go over a few minutes, and once you're done with it, before questions, I'll make sure that we announce the 5 winners here in just a few minutes.
Okay, perfect. So thank you so much, Sarah. I think this might be the #1 webinar I've ever been on in terms of engagement. I know we still have a few questions, so I want to make sure that that we get to those at the end so that we can go through and make sure you guys are getting out of this webinar what you need. I know Jeff has said in the chat, but we will be sending out a recording and the slide deck so you guys can refer back to all this great information. But again, my name is Alicia Bowling. I'm the program manager for the Dell Expert Network in the US. And like your LinkedIn post, you start off by, offering value, content, getting to know people, engaging with them. And that is exactly what I'm doing with this webinar. We started off with Sarah's great presentation. She warmed you up, gave you a lot of great content to consume. And then I come in on the back end and I'm here to sell you. So we can go ahead and get into it. The next slide, just to get you familiar with Dell Expert Network, if you're not already, we are an MSP program at Dell. So if you are an MSP, which I think most folks on this webinar are, and you are interested in engaging with Dell, we do have a program here for you. We do have the Dell Technologies Partner Program, which is the group that Sarah sits under, and then also the Dell Expert Network program, which is the program that I support. And I will go ahead and proactively answer the question. Unfortunately, if you are an MSP, you can't be a part of both programs, but each program serves a different business model of MSP. So as you can see on your screen, I'm not going to read all these off to you, but we do have some great benefits that you get as an MSP after joining our program. Another common question is, is Is there any cost or any minimums that I have to meet to be a member of the program with Dell? And that answer is no. You can join, check it out, see if it's of value to your company, if it's a business model you like operating within, and then you know, you decide if it's for you or if it's not for you. But the great thing is there's no upfront cost to it, no skin off your back. So I always tell folks, reach out, schedule a meeting, learn more, visit our landing page, etc. if any of these benefits here on the screen look interesting to you. So moving on, a lot of folks ask what business model goes with which program. So if you are an MSP and hardware resale margins are a key factor in your business model, you're most likely more aligned with our Dell Technologies Partner Program. So if you're interested in that program and getting aligned with it, you can still reach out to me directly and I can connect you with that program. If you are an MSP who is moving out of the break fix business and into the managed business, and you don't want to be dealing with hardware resale margins anymore, then the Dell Expert Network program would probably be a great program for your business model. So if that is the case, you can also reach out to me and I can help you learn more about our program. So on the next slide, you'll see I do have a QR code for my LinkedIn as well. So I try to share a lot of thought leadership content like what Sarah has provided today, technical content, white papers, things like that. So definitely connect with me. Send me an email. My email's there on the screen. If you ever have any questions or you need someone just to back up your post and engage, I'm also happy to throw my hat in the ring there with Sarah, and I'm always happy to help out our Dell partners. So Sarah, we can move on to the next slide. And Jeff, if you want to go into the questions or go into the gift cards first, hopefully we have some lucky
just a
winners.
couple quick questions. Alicia, make sure you catch it there.
Yeah.
Ivan's asking for you to give to shoot him an email with some of the details or links on that. Vince was asking, and I should know the answer to this. We've done this quite a few times. Is this program, is Dell Expert Network available in Canada?
So not currently, but that's an exciting development. We are working on a go-to-market strategy in Canada, so hopefully here soon. Keep your eyes peeled. You should see some updates coming across that we will have a program launched in Canada, hopefully here in the next 6 months.
And then with the green light, just back up one slide real quick. I want to make sure if you're not interested, so that's if you're not interested in reselling IT hardware, 100% focused on managed clients, but you want to get rewards and benefits, preferred pricing, all those type of things, that's where you're going to want to go. That's the best fit for Dell Expert Network. Yes,
absolutely. And I see someone asked, does this cover the UK as well? Danny, and yes, this program is live in the UK. So if you have any questions about the UK program, I only cover the US, but feel free to shoot me a note and I can connect you with our program managers over there that can help you get set up.
And Alicia, if you can just type in the Dell Expert Network and your email address just in the chat there while I'm naming off the winners, and you see it right there on the screen, dell.com/expert network. I know someone was asking for that. So I've got our winners here, and then we've got a few questions to answer here if Sarah can hang out with us for a few minutes. So our winners, and each of you are going to win a $500 Visa gift card. I actually picked this first one here, hand selected, which I haven't done on these webinars before, but Leo Bletnitsky, you're the first winner. Leo had the most creative post on Sarah's. He posted a picture of his 2 dogs and said, by the way, my assistants are cuter than yours, Sarah.
Fighting words.
Yeah, so Leo wins for that one, his creativity. Great job, Leo. Second winner, Gary Hable. So Gary is one of our winners. Third winner is Emily Dakin. Congratulations, Emily. Fourth winner is Trent Stokes. Great job, Trent. I saw you were posting on there as well. And then our fifth and final winner, let's make sure that he's still on. It is Douglas Hobson. Congratulations, Doug, there. So you guys are all winners of the $500 gift cards. And our team will be contacting you to make sure that we've got your address. If we don't already, with that, we'll be getting those out to you in the mail. So congrats, everyone, for that. And Trent is saying, woohoo, I never win anything. So we just changed that today here, Trent.
Just start engaging, Trent. You'll win every day.
All right, couple quick questions on it here that we'll just go rapid fire. You mentioned this a little bit, Sarah, but how much time should I take daily, weekly to build all of this?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Like I said, 15 minutes every morning is where I want you to start, and it's just going to start developing from there. So give yourself the 15 minutes, and whatever else comes at you, you're going to start, developing that, what I need to plan, what I need to be doing. But it shouldn't take any more than 30 minutes a day. So it's 15 minutes to sort of catch up, review, respond, like, and engage with what's already happened. And then you should be thinking of and developing your content in less than 15 minutes. I don't want a post to take you any longer than that, because it should be something you're familiar with, something you want to share, something you're excited about sharing.
Wes was asking, should we be on X, Facebook, Instagram with our businesses?
That is a strategy for your business. X is, it's for live events. And if you're going places and you're sharing content, sort of like join us in hall room B, join us. It's immediate and it's necessary there. So X is good for that. But LinkedIn is really turning into the one and done, depending on where your customers are, right? If your customers like seeing pictures, and Instagram's a better way for you to get it across. But again, pictures, and then you can't put the links on Instagram. So how do you actually want to function? To have the links, to have everything that you need, LinkedIn is the best platform we see. But you can definitely, if you've got customers that are on Facebook, have your business on Facebook. So it's really up to you and where you think your customer base is and where they're listening.
Cool. So some of anonymous attendee, I don't know how that happens on Zoom, but it comes up every once in a while. Some of us don't need to sell ourselves in quotes, but sell our CEO for them. How do we do that when they don't seem to post or engage?
Yeah, so actually corporate America, right? It's hard to get everybody to drink the Kool-Aid. And sometimes you have to represent them. And what, sometimes we do is we'll meet with the executive and we'll be like, what do you want to talk about? What is your brand? What are your 3 to 5 things? And we actually do what I talked about today for that executive, working with them, and then get them to agree that, okay, we're going to be posting on your behalf. And this is what we're going to be doing. So you do the work for them to actually do it. But it's more company focused when they post, because they are the CEO, and then you trickle in some of they like to sail or what their hobbies are, and you always can put a calendar together in Excel and send it to them saying, this is what we got lined up for you, do you approve? Or they can give you free reign too. That's better.
Yeah, so what is that? I mean, Matthew had a follow-up question on that one. It just matched up that way. Is what's the balance of posting on his own as the CEO versus having a marketing admin or someone else working the company page?
Yeah, so if as the CEO, if you're going to be posting, kudos to you and thank you so much, right? But you should be posting probably once a week about a big topic pertaining to your company. And then you can post 2 or 3 smaller, less detail-oriented towards your personal. So one big one about your company, and then keep highlighting what the company page is doing. So if your company page is posting, you want to be liking, engaging, and commenting on those posts to help lift your page, because it's all about, your company, and you're the CEO. So it's great to have those things happen. When our executives comment on our branded accounts, it is money in the bank, right? So we want you to be doing that as well.
And I think you mentioned as part of this, Andre was asking, should we mostly post to our personal profile? What you were mentioning earlier is there's that balance, that there's your personal and then the more corporate or company posts, things that you're selling, talking about on that company profile.
Right. So as Andre, you're going to post for your personal self. Let your company post as themselves and what they're good at. And then you can go over as Andre and reshare it on yours with a comment over the top of it saying, this is what our company does, is who we are. Because you want to push people back to your company page, and then you want to show your company page that you're supporting them.
And then one final one, actually, this is for Alicia. Andre was also asking, does Dell help partners with RFPs?
Yes, we definitely can. So it depends on what program you land in, who your end user is, if it's a public end user with contract pricing, etc. So we can definitely help with that. So just reach out, give me more details, and I can get someone involved.
Right. Awesome. Well, ton of great information. Sarah, you got a huge amount of interaction throughout here. You can go check out all the posts and everything on your LinkedIn post as we were going along with this. Thank you so much for taking the time to share all of this great knowledge with us here. It was extremely entertaining as well here. So,
Good. That's my goal. That's my goal. Entertain.
we will be posting this up, as we mentioned, out with all of the MSP Success webinar listings that are out there. And we will be sending out Sarah's deck. I know she had some very detailed slides there of the what to do, when to do it, when not to do it, all those type of things. You're going to get that as a webinar attendee. And as always, thank all of you for participating here in this month's MSP Success webinar series. Thanks all. Thanks, Alicia. See you soon.
Thanks, guys. Bye.